Yeah.
Cause we built it from the ground up. FTGU motivating, getting the crowd up. Laura, tell them how you did it from the ground up.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the From the Ground Up show. I'm Lauren. I'm with Jazz as per usual.
Why didn't you do the second
Laura,
part?
tell us how you did it from the ground up.
I hope they noticed the intro and big shout out to Azim who put all that music together. We just kind of gave him a thought and an idea and he put it all together. I think he did a great job. But let the viewers tell us and the listeners as well.
That's true.
As always, make sure that you share this with a friend or a colleague. Being a real estate agent or a mortgage broker or a business owner, you might think that, I don't want to give away all the secrets that Laura's giving away on the podcast or Jazz is giving away. But you know where we come from. We come from the ilk that there's more than enough to go around. In fact, today's episode, based on like what you wanted to talk about, Laura,
is dun dun dun. Instagram is dead.
Look, I don't know if it's completely dead.
Hopefully that got your attention.
Yeah, I know. I think the did. I think it's something that we've been experiencing personally on our profiles on Instagram. Like we were just not getting as much engagement, as many views as we were. I'm always talking about, and you're always talking about the shares and the saves. Even that has come down. I think most people that we're speaking to in the industry, and I'm not talking about real estate and mortgages, but like content creation, they're noticing the same thing, right? Where you're just not getting as much engagement anymore because there's just way too much supply, too many marketers. Have you noticed?
Every other thing in my feed is a sponsored ad of some sort, right? And so I think what people really have to realize in this context is to take a deep breath. I know you're devastated because you built up your Instagram channel and you finally got it to a place where you feel like it has some momentum. And now the algorithm or whatever's happening is ruining everything for you. But take a second to look back at history. Like, I think that can be a great teacher in this respect. Everyone said Facebook is dead. No one's on Facebook. We actually work with a lot of people who've never even had a Facebook account. But because at one point there were so many ads happening, sponsored ads in Facebook, so much supply that people left, right? The kids left and they went to Instagram where they didn't have to deal with that many ads.
And running away from their
parents who obviously came on to Facebook, like that. Of course. But now all of a sudden, the supply has lessened because people are no longer putting their money into Facebook ads. And so now you can do ads that are cheaper again. And you're actually getting more traction again in Facebook.
Organically as well.
Which is why it's important to never give up on any one channel. So when you say Instagram's dead, TikTok is everything, that doesn't mean stop your Instagram channel and only focus on TikTok.
Maybe the priority. And maybe the priority, right? Like I think even our personal accounts, and we're trying to get our clients moving in that direction as well. Not everyone's heeding the advice, but that's okay. I know personally what we're doing is like, okay, hey, let's make sure we got 3 videos up on TikTok today. Let's make sure, and this is something that I think this is the good news about today's episode, is that, you might be affected on Instagram, but know about TikTok. The good news that you might not know about another platform is YouTube Shorts, because we're growing and getting a lot of organic views on YouTube Shorts because YouTube is pushing to beat out TikTok.
Yeah, and it's pretty obvious. Like when you're just cruising any social media platform, just take a look at it. Like go into YouTube right now. The first things that come up in your feed are all shorts. Mm-hmm. They're not the long tail format that we're used to, right? Because they're all trying to just compete with each other. And so things ebb and flow, they change, and you just have to be on top of it, right? Like a couple months ago, everyone was like, oh, all you do is dance on TikTok. Now hardly I see anyone dancing on TikTok. Currently, I'm seeing a lot of people doing trends where it's just voiceover of some funny type of thing that they're, making interesting for their own circumstance and business or industry that they're in. But who knows, in a couple months, maybe it's just going to be people talking and giving education versus entertainment. And so I think it's important that you try to get on those channels first, play around, be a viewer at first. If you don't have to even post anything, but just like kind of watch the thing, see what's happening, and then make sure that at some point you actually execute yourself.
And another lesson, right? on why you need to be on all the platforms, right? And you want to get to a place where you're actually shooting content that's contextualized for the platform. But if you're just starting out, always said,
the best place to start, especially to our real estate agents and mortgage brokers, is like a Q&A.
Like an interview style show, right? You're a real estate agent in Toronto, talk to the local pizza shop owners, the principal at the school. You don't need to get the mayor, but you can generally get the counselor or somebody at their office, do a quick interview show, 25 to 30 minutes, and then chop that all up so you can get on all the profiles. Guys, like, have you ever noticed like Elto's profile? A lot of it is just stuff that she's taking from recordings like this. Look at mine. Like, yes, we're on all these platforms, but we're actually very busy, and so we don't have the time to always do those one-off videos. If you're that person and you have some time, great. I think it adds like some rawness to your profile. But like as a hack, an easier way to do it is do that 25, 30-minute conversation. And then this way you can get on all the platforms, because when Instagram maybe becomes the third or the fourth on the totem pole of priority, you still have some awareness on YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Facebook fan pages. Like you mentioned, Facebook. It just happened like this last couple of, like, I'm going to say about 3 weeks. I've noticed like, all these people that were never on my Facebook fan page.
And it was almost impossible to get new eyeballs on Facebook
because Facebook was
prior.
pumping the fact that you need to pay for it. All these people are coming out of the woodworks. Why? Not because like I'm doing something different. It's the same content that I'm putting out there. It's that Facebook is now pushing my fan page in the algorithm, because the big multi-billionaire, billion-dollar companies, the BMW, the Mercedes, and the Budweisers, and all these companies, they're not pushing as much ad dollars. And so that allows for regular content creators like you and I and Laura to actually get our pages seen.
So it goes to show, don't get romantic.
100.
Don't get romantic about any channel. It's there as a tool. It should never be the be-all, end-all. These things are going to change, and you have to grow with it, and you have to really, truly be curious, right? Like, never look at any one platform and say, that's just for old people, or that's just where my grandparents hang out, or that's where 13-year-old girls hang out. These things always change. We've now had enough history.
And that sucks.
Social media has been around long enough now that we can look back and say, hey, I don't want to make that mistake again. Because I remember when Instagram came out, and I was very hesitant because I was just vibing Facebook. My friends were like, no, Instagram's this cool thing, and you post pictures. And I was like, well, why would I want to do that? Like, and who cares what, why would I post some stories when stories came out? Who cares what I did with my dog this morning? I mean, this morning I posted an idiotic video on stories of this bunny that I thought was cute, where you would have never wasted like your primary space in your feed on stuff like that before. But it turns out that everyone actually does care. People do care what you did on the long weekend. People do care what you're up to for work, or at least they're looking at it. And I think for you guys, because you're marketers, you just need to be ever present on every single platform, or as many platforms as you can. Figure out some of your hacks, whether it's hiring someone to help you do it, although I do think you should do it yourself first, because that's how you're really going to learn. But figuring out those hacks, posting the same video on every single platform is fine, at least at the start. Maybe eventually you'll start changing some of the captions. You'll do longer form captions on LinkedIn with more explanation. Maybe TikTok is shorter and punchier. And you kind of figure out it as you go along. But unless you're actively using the platform, you're really never going to know.
Or I think you wrap that up like, I couldn't have said it any better, right? Like just making sure that you're on all the platforms.
Yeah, I say we just end it there.
I like
really, because I'm starving, and I know Chi-Chi's starving, and
guys,
2 hangry women in a small confined space.
Nope.
It's just not.
Nikki, you're in trouble. We love all of you. Make sure you go subscribe.
And if this was valuable, make sure to share it with a colleague or friend.